I'm Edie Lush, and I'm outside the Hub Culture Pavilion here in Davos. Really pleased to be joined by Dan Tarman, Chief Communications Officer for eBay. You've had an extraordinary Davos. You've had some interesting moments. Can you tell me about one of them?
Yeah, so it has been a very interesting Davos, and I think one of the big themes at Davos this year is how to square the circle between what's happening here and what's happening in the rest of the world. And for me, the most profound experience I had was I attended a dinner a couple of nights ago where there was a young Yazidi woman who had been kidnapped by ISIS and enslaved by ISIS for 2 years and then escaped and is now being represented by Amal Clooney, who's trying to prosecute a case at the International Criminal Court for war crimes. And it just kind of made it very real to me and I think to everybody else that was there. And to me what it spoke to was, you know, how is it that ISIS even came into being? And in my view it has to do a lot with millions of disaffected people who have been disenfranchised and disempowered that leads to this very violent, horrible reaction, societal reaction that's manifested itself with ISIS, and then the real world implications of that with this young woman who had been enslaved, 6 of her brothers executed in front of her. And so that to me was a pretty moving and very real moment that made me really think about like what WEF is about and what we're doing here.
It's hard to go from such a serious moment to other, but the main theme here is responsive and responsible leadership. And I'm interested what that means to you, eBay as a technology company.
Well, so I don't think it's actually a far distance between that and this. Because being responsive in terms of leaders and responsible means finding ways to empower people so that they don't become disenfranchised. You know, eBay, specifically as a platform company, which has been a purpose-driven organization since our founding 21 years ago. We've brought millions of people access to the global markets, small entrepreneurs who supplement their income on eBay, or businesses that began as small entrepreneurs whose entire business and sustenance comes through selling on our platform. So for us as a platform company, as a pioneer in e-commerce, responsible leadership means harnessing our tools, in our case a technology platform, to provide empowerment and opportunity for people around the world.
I think it's amazing. It's sort of like distributed power, in fact, what you do. You give entrepreneurs, or you give people the opportunity to become an entrepreneur, and everyone can do it. We're on the eve of a new president in the United States, and it's been quite an extraordinary time. And just to take your word, disenfranchisement, it feels like we're in a moment when we've never felt so. Many people have never felt so disenfranchised. I wonder how you think that might develop over the next year.
Well, I think that we need to understand what led to Brexit, what led to the new administration being elected in the United States, and the sense of disaffection and disenfranchisement by many, many people, and the need to create opportunity for people and to empower them so that they feel that they're included in economic growth and not excluded from it. And I think, the whole notion of Davos is to narrow those gaps. My sense is, this is only my second time at Davos, but my sense is this year it feels more tangible and more pressing. It's been a lot of the conversation that's happened inside the Congress Center, and it's been a lot of the conversation that I've heard, informally outside.
And how do you feel a technology company can help?
Well, again, I'll talk from the very narrow eBay perspective and then maybe broaden it. eBay harnesses technology to democratize commerce. Right? We provide access to people around the world by disintermediating other people or other actors so that there is a direct line between a seller and a buyer of a product or a good. So that's one example of how technology can be a constructive source of good, a platform for good. There's been a lot of talk at Davos this year about artificial intelligence, and is artificial intelligence good or bad? In our view, it's not a binary thing of good or bad. There are significant societal issues about artificial intelligence, but again, from an eBay perspective, we are utilizing artificial intelligence to help create a more personalized shopping experience for people.
How do you do that?
So we use algorithms so that we can help someone, we can help better understand what a buyer might want by their behavior patterns on our platform. And that means that we can better match someone that's supplying something, a seller, to someone that's looking for something. So I can help provide a small entrepreneur who might have a 1 or 2 person business access to artificial intelligence by plugging into our platform, and therefore providing acceleration and greater velocity in their business through the use of artificial intelligence. So that's a constructive use of artificial intelligence, but there's also been a lot of talk here about the potential of artificial intelligence to create job displacement, and the profound and acute questions that raises about how we respond as a society, from policymakers all the way down to corporate decision makers.
Dan, thank you very much for stopping by the Hub Culture Pavilion.
My pleasure.
Here
Thank
in
you.
Davos, I'm Edie Lush.